This year at 1:30 p.m., the parking lot was completely full. All handicapped parking spaces were completely full. Cars were parked bumper to bumper on both sides of the street throughout the entire residential neighborhood. When I finally decided where I was going to park, I left with concern that I was going to get a parking ticket. For the elderly, the disabled, and for those with limited financial means, voting must be simple. This last election, as you see, it was not simple.
Okay, there's been 4,000 confirmed people that had the registration changed. Everyone that I know that had the registration changed was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Okay? I want a federal investigation and a nonpartisan recount of this entire vote. We need another day of voting, okay? We need to count all provisional ballots, okay? That's what we need to do.
We the people know that our electoral process has been corrupted. This is not some sort of conspiracy theory. This is not some sort of a sick joke, and this is perhaps especially true in Maricopa County. In 2012, the Spanish sample ballot in my district had the wrong date printed on the Spanish ballot and only on the Spanish ballot. In 2016, polling sites show a clear division at McDowell Road. This is especially disturbing because until the late 1960s, people of color were not allowed to live north of McDowell Road. Voter suppression was blatant in Maricopa County. The racially and economically oriented placement of polling sites is disgraceful. I hope that all of you have taken the time to look at a map and see how few polling places were available in South and Southwest Phoenix, south of McDowell Road. The fraudulent fiasco guised as a presidential primary on March 22nd, 2016 needs to be nullified, and constituents need to be allowed to vote. Some of us to re-vote. All who were not able to vote need to be recognized, and all votes need to be counted. Many petitions are currently circulating for an investigation of this atrocity and a re-vote on June 7th. Hundreds of thousands of signatures on over a dozen such petitions have been created. Let that implore you. All right. I spent 5 hours in line. Pandering to the elite while neglecting the poor is a recipe for corruption, and we are a living example right here, right now. The corruption has become so established that it got comfortable. So comfortable that it got lazy. So lazy that you got caught. No more voter suppression can be tolerated in Maricopa County. We demand that our votes be counted. We demand a re-vote on June 7th with an open primary. Current corruption needs to be held accountable.
Thank you so much.
You are done, man. You have burned up your time. You are done. You are Joe Arpaio's snake in the grass, and we see you.
Thank you. The next. No, ma'am.
Now you know why they didn't want me to speak.
Yeah.
And I want us to all understand something. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. And it does not matter who you are. It does not matter if you are elected. It does not matter who your person or candidate was. This was a travesty of justice and made us an international laughingstock. And last thing, I do understand. I do understand. Last thing. For you to meet less than 24 hours later with someone and proclaim that the problem was solved, let me further know that this was a problem that you knew about, this was a problem that you could have handled, and I'm sorry, the buck stops with you. You should resign at the end of this hearing. Thank you.
If you can make it a crime for a citizen to help somebody vote and successfully help them to vote, why can't you make it a crime when you deny 1,000 people the right to vote under the color of authority? You tell me. Because you're not interested. And you ought to be thankful, Ms. Purcell, because if you were a Democrat, every elected Republican would be coming after you, and you would resign.
Respect, Mr. Perez.
Excuse me? You want to talk about respect when you deny people the right to vote? When you push that voter ballot bill, you want to talk about respect, sir? When you turn it a crime to help someone vote, you want to talk about respect? You have no respect.
I had prepared a joke, but I think we have heard enough jokes from Ms. Purcell and Ms. Reagan and this committee. And I would like to ask you, how does it feel to be laughed at, Ms. Purcell? You were laughing at us on Tuesday, and you are laughing at us now behind that cold gaze you're staring me down with. I registered to vote as a Republican. I was denied my right to vote. They gave me a fraudulent identification as party not declared. I have not changed my address in 10 years. I registered to vote on time. I was robbed of my vote. This is a serious crime. This is as serious as rape. It is as serious as murder, because this is the rape and murder of our democracy. And I demand that someone be held accountable. If not you, Ms. Purcell, then who? If not you, Ms. Reagan, then who? This is a high crime, and there must be punishment. If there is not punishment, then we do not live in a system of law.